did what it is. Chasing my dream and taking some risks. Won't say what I seen, won't say what I did. Started from zero, now look at the kid. Neighborhood hero, take care of my kid. Yo, chat, what's happening? What's happening? We back in the lab, as you can see. And today we're gonna do something a little different. I want to show y'all how to do something. As you can see, I'm still in my pajamas. I just got up, but I had this idea for an outfit, and I realized I needed to edit and alter a piece that I had in my closet, and I was like, might as well show y'all. So today what we're gonna be doing is cropping a jacket that I had, and I'm gonna show y'all how to get the perfect crop whenever you cropping a jacket, because like it's different than a shirt. Obviously you're not just cutting it, you gotta go through and sew it down and make the hem, but I'll show y'all. But essentially it's a million ways you can do this, a million ways you can do anything you're trying to do when it comes to sewing and altering clothes and stuff like that. So it's not like a one way to do this. It's literally a million ways you can figure out how to do this, I promise. And any way will work just based on however you want to do it. But I've never did this before, me personally, but I just figure I know enough to where I can figure it out. So I'm gonna be teaching y'all how to do this shit. At the same time, I'm gonna be figuring out how to do this shit all in the same video. You understand? So yeah, man, that's what we're gonna get into. Without further ado, welcome to Swag School. Ain't even got flying a minute, but a young nigga right back spilling. Alright, chat. So I just switched up the angle a little bit so y'all can see. And my area is a mess right now, but get off me. I've been making hella cool shit, hella cold shit. Y'all gonna see that shit soon. Then y'all gonna be on my dick about it. So don't be on my dick about my shit being messy. But yeah. So here, this is what we're doing first. So first, I already did this part. I wish I would have waited, but I wasn't thinking about it, making this video. So first, I just pinned up the amount of the jacket that I want to be cut, if that makes sense. So like, I want it to be cropped right here. So everything lower than that, I just folded it up and pinned it inside. Now when you're doing this, you want to make sure you pin this straight. So the easiest way to do it is to pin the sides, the inner part of the sides. You see that? Can y'all tell? Yeah. So you want to pin this side up first and make sure it's straight. And so then you'll be able to go on the other side and pin it in the same spot. This will help it be at least a little straight. And then this will it will all straighten itself out as you get to pinning it across. But that's the first thing you want to do. And so once you do that, you got it pinned how you want it to be pinned and all that. Then you can get started on sewing it. So now what I'm gonna do, which like I said, this isn't the only way to do it. It's a million ways, like I said earlier. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna sew this about 1/2 inch away from the bottom, or I'll say about an inch away from the bottom. Just sew straight across. The whole side will sew straight across this whole side all the way around the jacket. And then after that, we'll fold the inside down, create a hem and all that. But we going step by step right now. So once you got it pinned to where you need it to be pinned to, then we're gonna get to sewing. So let's get that started. All right, chat. So we back. Now after you got it pinned down, this is the next step. We're gonna sew it about an inch away from the bottom of the jacket. It might be a little bit more than an inch. I'm not really measuring, but you feel me? It'll be cool. So what we're gonna do right now is just sew this all the way around. I'm afraid to give my life to the public still. All right, chat. So as y'all can see, we got that line stitched right here, and essentially this is gonna be our hem, but I assume y'all figured that out by now. So we just stitched that line, and it's pretty straight. I haven't closed the stitch yet, but it'll be good. And so now what I'm gonna do is come to the inside of it. Now I'm gonna, about an inch from the line, about an inch away from this line. So about right here, I'm gonna cut everything above that. I'm gonna cut it off. So then it will be probably about this much left above the line, and we'll fold that over, finish the hem, and then we're done with the jacket. All right, chat. So we back. I just cut the excess off, and I left about 1 inch for the hem. But what I decided was we really don't need this. The goal was to show y'all the simplest way to make the perfect crop for a jacket you have. So instead of folding this over and sewing it down like that, which would be what I would do if I was tailoring somebody else's clothes. But since this is just for me and I'm cool with it being a little rougher, I'm just gonna cut all of this excess off, and then we're gonna flip it over and sew along this edge. That's just gonna be the easiest way. But if I was tailoring someone else's clothes, I would have cut this. I would have marked out where I was gonna cut this at, cut this straight, so make sure it was the same length everywhere. Then I would have just folded it over and sewn the hem like that. But change of plans, instead of that, we are going to now just cut all this off and sew along this edge. So I'm about to cut this off, and then I'll holler at y'all before we get to sewing. All right, chat, we back. So as you can see, I just cut off all the excess, so there's no more excess left at all. And I'm gonna take my lighter and just go over these edges a little bit, not too much. Don't burn your shit down now, you understand me? But I'm gonna just see, I just caught my shit on fire a little bit. I almost started bullshitting. But I'm just going over these edges to make sure that they don't fray later on. And so essentially, if you want it to be finished, you could be finished because it has a hem on it. So if you want to stop right here, you can stop right here. But me personally, I just want to put another stitch on the hem right here at this bottom edge. I just want to add another stitch. So that's what we're about to do. But if you want it to be finished, this could be complete if you wanted it to be complete. But if you're following along with me, then after you cut all the excess off, you're gonna come back to this side, and we're just gonna sew along this bottom edge all the way around, just like we did at the top. And once we do that, we'll be finished. All right, chat. So we back. This is what we're doing. I'm just about to sew down on this edge right here to add another stitch to my hem, and then after that, we'll be finished. So we got to handle this real quick, then we'll be done. Set this up about right there. All right, now let's get to it. You know what I'm saying? Chat, we back. So there it is. We done. We just finished making a perfect crop jacket. Y'all can see it's got a hem. It's straight all the way across. I'll put some B-roll footage in to show how it fits on me and everything, and the crop and everything, so y'all can see it. But yeah, man, essentially this is it. This is a super easy way to do it. This was my first time doing this, as well as my first time teaching y'all how to do this, so we kind of just learned together. And so yeah, man, that's essentially it. You can try this with any jacket you got at home. Now if I was tailoring somebody else's clothes, I probably would have did this a bit of the more professional way, but it still looks good either way, and this is just for me, so it'll be fine. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. This is the first episode of Swag School. Be sure to tune in next episode, because you know I'm dropping gems, dropping knowledge, teaching y'all how to get fly, how to make clothes, how to tailor clothes, anything, man. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Now y'all's homework is to go home, find you a jacket, and do exactly what I did and just crop y'all's jacket. But other than that, man, we out. Peace and love. Pray to Christ. Create more than you consume. Live more than you dream. Earn more than you spend. We out.
Hope I create that spark in your mind. You hear me calling, it's a symphony. If I'm getting you pissed off, make a bitch stop, get some drinks with me.